Have you guys voted in a federal election before?
No.
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 No, I've only done the Queensland state election, but it's my first federal election.
And do you think you know enough about voting to do it properly?
Honestly, we weren't really taught that in like the school curriculum.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused on how it works, but you know, that's why I'm here today, to find out how it works.
Yeah, even though this year's federal election is tipped to be the largest ever in Australia, with around 18 million Aussies heading to the polls, it's a sea of young voters, as more than 7.7 million Millennial and Generation Zs cast their votes. But how much do these young voters know about, well, voting?
I think I know a little bit of it.
Voting below the line and what that looks like, and then sort of like independent parties and that sort of stuff.
Yep. You're not sure about that?
Yeah.
I think it can be kind of confusing for a lot of people, but I think I got a good hand.
You got a good grip on it?
Yeah.
I think I know the basics of it, but I think if it's going to be a serious vote, then it should definitely be taught more in schools.
I'm at this stage where I have to be a first-time voter. I have no idea how to vote, so.
It's not the easiest thing in the world, but we try to make it as simple for people as possible.
This is Cameron Stokes, who's in charge of the South Australian arm of the Australian Electoral Commission, or AEC. They're an independent body that's been responsible for running all public votey things since 1984. From federal government elections to things like the same-sex marriage plebiscite in 2017 and the Indigenous Voice to Parliament referendum in 2023. When you go to the polls for this federal election, the AEC staff will give you ballot papers, which look like this.
Do you know what these are?
No.
No idea.
Is that one preferential voting?
Both are preferential voting. Do you have any idea how they work?
No, not really.
Honestly, no.
This one's for like the Senate, right? Yeah, this one's for the upper house.
Yep.
Yeah, and then this one's for the... Oh yeah, this one's for the lower house. This one's the lower house, yeah.
That's right.
So on election day, voters are going to be handed one of these each. Can you tell us what they are and how they work?
Yeah, so voters will get 2 ballot papers on polling day. The small green one is for the House of Representatives, so it will have your candidates for your local division, and you have to number every box on this ballot paper in the order of your choice. You'll also get a large white ballot paper, which is for the Senate, and that covers the whole of the state. So you have a couple of options here. You can number this above the line, in which case you have to number at least 6 boxes in the order of your preference, or below the line, in which case you number at least 12 boxes in the order of your preference. And if you want to number them all, you absolutely can.
Do you know what the difference between the House of Representatives and the Senate is?
No.
I don't know.
No idea.
So the House of Representatives, they make the bill, and then it goes to the Senate. They vote on that bill to like pass through or whatever.
Wow, you're the first person today who's known that, so
really?
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm doing like constitutional law right now, so I have to learn it, but yeah.
Okay, so that's a head start, I see.
Well, for those of us who didn't do constitutional law, the House of Representatives and the Senate, or the lower and upper house respectively, are the 2 levels of Parliament that new legislation or bills pass through to become law. The House of Representatives is also known as the House of Government, which means that the party or coalition that wins the most seats there becomes the ruling party. There are 150 seats, each representing an electorate, which is your local area that you vote in, and a party needs to win at least 76 seats or electorates to form government. The House of Reps is where most new legislation or bills are first introduced and debated, and if everyone there agrees on them, the bills move up to the Senate. Here, there are 12 pollies representing each state and 2 for each territory, giving a total of 76 seats. Their job is to act kind of like a filter for bills from the House of Reps. Senators can introduce new bills too, but they're unlikely to become law without the support of the government. Senators debate the pros and cons of each bill again and then vote on it, either approving it to become law or sending it back to the House of Reps, where it can be modified and debated again before heading back up to the Senate for another vote, and so on.
Do most people know how to vote? And what's the weirdest thing you've seen on a ballot paper?
I think most people know how to vote, and I say that because our formality rate is actually quite high. So around 95% of votes that come through, we're actually able to say, yep, they're formal, they count. In regards to the weirdest things that we see, look, I think a lot of those are probably not safe for this television show, so I might just leave it at that one.
And how important is it for each voter to know how to fill in ballot papers properly?
It's critically important. We don't want people turning up and their vote not counting. So understanding that on the House of Reps paper you have to complete every box on the paper, understanding for the Senate that you've got a couple of options above the line or below the line, really important because we want every vote to count.
I think it's very important because it's quite literally what shapes how our country runs, especially the federal elections. So I think it's very important, yeah.
I think it's incredibly important actually because young people are growing up into this, so they need to pick what's best for them and hopefully it's the best outcome.
Is there any other advice for first-time voters that you have?
aec.gov.au is the best place to start. So jump on there, you'll learn all about your candidates, you'll know where your polling places are, and you'll know how to fill in the ballot paper.
Do your research. Do your research. That's my advice.
Definitely ask a parent about it who obviously knows more, or someone who has more knowledge, because going in alone I think would confuse you.
Don't be scared to ask questions.
Yeah, probably the same thing. Don't be afraid to ask. Talk to people, talk to your friends, talk to anyone.
Don't get sucked into a social media loophole. Just actually get out there and try and figure out some stuff.